What is up, fam? EmTJanz here, coming back at you with another daily vlog. I believe this is our 5th day in a row doing daily vlogs, and it is just gonna get better and better as we go. So today's video is a story time video. It is from the summer before my freshman year of college, and I just want to tell you right now, viewer discretion is advised. Now, I see this as a funny story, but it was also extremely traumatic at the time, so I don't know. I guess you can be the judge. I've told this many times to people, my friends and family, and they have gotten a good laugh out of it, but it also is pretty crazy at the same time. So sit back, grab a snack, grab a friend, and alright, it is time for this story time. Get ready. As I said before, this is a story time about the summer before my freshman year of college. I went to Minnesota with my mom and my sister to visit my grandparents. They used to live in Minnesota. They don't anymore. They moved back to Pennsylvania, where my whole family is from. And but we went to visit them this summer, and here is a time when we went to the fair. The county fair was happening when we were in Minnesota, and we figured it would be a fun thing to do, a fun place to go. We get to ride some rides, spend some time with family, and have that delicious Minnesotan fair food that is just the greatest. So we had spent all day at the fair, and it was getting towards the end of the day, starting to get dark, just past sunset, a little later than it is right now. It's about 9 p.m. It was probably around 10 p.m. at this point. So we were at the fair. We decided to go on one of our last rides of the night. It's called the Gravitron. And the Gravitron is the ride that it looks like a spaceship, and when you go, it spins you around really fast and you get sucked to the walls. Centrifugal force pushes you back, and the wall that you're sucked back to has rollers on it, so it actually lifts you up off your feet and brings you to the top of the ride. So you're up in the air, you're spinning, and you're pressed back against the wall. So my sister Sarah and I went on this ride, and I bet you there was 20 to 25 other people on this ride, and I think that we were the only ones above the age of 15 on this ride. All the other kids were like 7 years old to about 12 years old on this ride, and they were having the best time ever. They got on the ride. You could tell that they had been on the ride many times before. They were running around, picking their spots, getting by their friends, and as the ride started moving, they started jumping up onto the walls on their knees and on their stomachs, and they were trying to get as high as they could on this ride. Now, as the ride started moving faster and faster, it's harder to move away from the wall at this point. So the ride was probably about half speed at this point. And these kids are still jumping up. They're getting as high. They're sitting on the the tippy top of the wall that you can go on. The ride is not even at full force. And there's a space between the top of the wall and the top of the ride. There's an edge back there. There's a hole, probably 2 feet worth of empty space at the top of this wall that these kids are jumping on. And this one kid, this blonde little kid, he must have been, I'd say 8 or 9 years old. He jumps at the top of this wall, misses with his butt, and falls backwards into between the wall and the ride. And I'm not saying that this was like, what's the word? Like, he did not fall like crazily. He like missed himself. He had his like hand on the thing and he fell back and his hand slipped. I saw the whole thing. My sister Sarah right next to me didn't see anything at this point. So naturally, seeing this little kid fall behind the ride, like literally inside of the ride's mechanism, I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, Sarah. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I said, oh my God, Sarah, that kid fell behind the ride. And she didn't understand what I was saying. She thought that I meant I could see a kid past the middle attendant that had fallen on the ground and couldn't like get back up to stand on the wall again. She did not know that this kid had actually fallen behind the ride. At this point, I'm freaking out, and I'm like, no, Sarah, he fell behind the ride, like he's in the ride, and all of a sudden, like the ride starts picking up speed, and like all these little kids are screaming. They're screaming at the guy has no idea what's going on. He's just operating the machine. It's loud, no one can really hear what each other is saying, and I'm like, Sarah, he's behind the ride. And all of a sudden, as the ride starts picking up, this little kid, I kid you not, one of the most traumatic moments of my entire life, this kid starts screaming his head off. You can hear him screaming behind the walls of the ride. At this point, everything that I could possibly be thinking about this is running through my head as fast as I can. Can I help this kid? What is happening? Is he hurt? Is he like getting like chopped up in the ride? I was like, literally, I'm gonna get off this ride and we're gonna see someone carry this kid out. Just like, we're gonna see someone die at the fair. Like, I am freaking out, and I'm almost to the point of tears. I'm still yelling, Sarah, Sarah, a kid fell behind the ride. Like, I don't know what to do. He's back there. And then this is where the craziest part happens. All of a sudden, the ride starts slowing down, like it's the end of the ride. The kid is still screaming his head off, and this ride was a pretty janky ride. Like, we're in Minnesota. We're at, like, some random fair. This is a janky heckin' ride. This thing is making all kinds of pops and bangs and loud like noises. A ride that is totally safe should not be making. And so I'm like, this is the kid, he's getting hurt, this is the kid, like, oh my gosh. And the ride starts slowing down, so I'm like, okay, it's almost over, hopefully we can help him. So the ride starts slowing down, and I'm still screaming about this kid to my sister, and then I'm pointing to the direction where he fell, and all of a sudden, it's like out of a movie, like out of an action movie, someone falls out the side of a building or something, and then all of a sudden, this happens. The kid climbs out from behind the ride. I could not believe it, and my sister saw this the whole time. She saw him climb back over the wall, and I looked at her face, and immediately she went, oh my gosh, that kid was behind the ride. And I was like, this is what I was telling you the whole time. I kid you not, like out of a movie, he like slow motion crawled his way back over the wall and then fell down onto the floor. And the ride was slowing, so we weren't stuck to the wall anymore. It was almost all the way down. And this kid slides down the wall, hits his head on the floor. Like, seriously, he could not have been having a worse day. He almost dies and saves himself somehow, which literally is still beyond me. I don't know how this kid climbed his way back. I don't know what happened. I would be interested in talking to him afterwards to see what he saw, what was back there, and how he managed to get himself out. But my sister was freaking out about it, and I said, this is what I was telling you the whole time. And the kid, he ran off the ride. Everyone was talking to the ride attendant saying, my friend fell back there, my friend fell back there, like he was back there, like he climbed out now. And the guy started looking like panicked and like ran over to the wall, and I said, the kid, he got out, he climbed back out, but he did fall back there during the ride. He was back there the whole time, and the guy like looked and like he looked terrified, and I said, he's safe, like he's out, he's with his parents now. But another kid had talked to him afterwards and was like, I lost my hat, like my hat fell off. And the guy walks up to the wall. This is crazy. The guy walks up to the wall, just grabs one of the little like things that you lean back on, pulls it right off like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. Like there was no fastening to this ride that kept the wall on it. We're just like literally sliding on 2 tracks. There's nothing holding the wall together. So altogether, this ride is, I don't recommend going on Gravitron rides anymore. Like, you can if you want, like it's fun for some people, but like after that experience, I was traumatized, and it was time to go home for me. Like, I was like definitely scared. So my sister and I get off this ride, and we are looking for this kid to see if he like finds his parents, if he's okay, like is he hurt. And we see his parents sitting at a bench with him. This kid is holding his head. He obviously is very rattled, you know, crying and like dazed and confused because he like totally hecked himself right up on this ride. And I see the parents go and talk to the attendant, and the guy brings like his like equipment manager over, and they actually closed down the ride for a small time. There's a big line, and I got home, like we got back to our parents and my grandparents, and we told them the story, and they died laughing, and I was still freaked out at this point. I was traumatized that this kid, like, I kid you not, I thought I was going to see a tragedy that day. Like, my heart was beating so hard. It was literally one of the scariest moments of my entire life. And we actually checked the county paper for a couple days after that while we were still there, and nothing was said. It was not in the news at all that a kid had gone behind the ride, but we were definitely checking. Oh my gosh. Alright guys, that is it for today's daily vlog. I thought that story was pretty crazy, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, or you had some thoughts on that story at all, please leave a comment below telling me if you liked it, what you thought your favorite part was, or anything you have to add for that story. Also, if you enjoyed this story time, please click that thumbs up right below, right here, down here. Give this video a like, and I cannot talk today, and there's a car going by. I want to try to get this video to 20 likes, so if we can do that, that would be great. Also, if you're new to this channel or you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button right down here. It should be red if you're not subscribed. If it's gray, you've already done your part. Thank you so much. And also, click the little bell right by the subscribe button. This turns on my post notifications so you get notified every time that I upload. I'm doing daily vlogs right now. I don't know how much longer I'll be doing it, but your support would be greatly appreciated. I'm trying to get 50 subscribers by my birthday, which is June 23rd. There'll be a special birthday vlog for that day because I'm gonna have some friends up. We're gonna go camping. It's gonna be a great weekend. So, like I said, like and comment down below, subscribe, make sure to turn my post notifications on. And this has been another vlog by yours truly, EmTJanz. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.